Hello, my name is Erin Irwin, and I'm the Senior Associate Director for Career and Professional Development at the Indiana University Alumni Association. Today, I look forward to sharing with you an interview preparation strategy that will allow you to walk away from interviews confident that you're making a positive first impression. Your preparation strategy has 3 steps, and I hope that these 3 words, organization, position, and fit, will stick with you so that you can quickly recall how to prepare for the many job interviews in your future. Step 1, you need to research the organization with which you are interviewing. Step 2, you need to know as much as possible about the position at hand. And step 3, you need a strong understanding of the stories of success from your background that will showcase your exceptional fit with the employer's needs. And we'll look at all 3 of those steps in greater detail. Step 1, organization. So as you research the organization, I want you to start with the big picture, such as the organization's mission and what it values. You can visit the organization's LinkedIn page and possibly even their Twitter account to get an insight into the organization's values based on what it's pushing out to the public. Also, asking people who work for the organization already is a surefire way to learn about the organization's values as they're lived out by the people who work there. Then take a moment to Google the organization. Google is always our friend in job search preparation. See what they've been in the news for recently. When asked in the interview about what you know about the organization, because you know that's going to be asked, you don't have to know absolutely everything, but you want to be able to provide a high-level view of the organization's mission and goals, and then choose 1 or 2 specific either events or products or services that particularly intrigue you to highlight in the interview, and you might even connect them back to your experiences and why they're valuable. Also, take time to research the professional and maybe even the personal interests of the individuals who will be interviewing you. This is really going to help you have meaningful small talk as the interview starts, and it will allow you to ask informed questions at the end of the interview. Step 2, position. So when I prep job seekers for interviews, the most frequent cause of anxiety is the not knowing what questions are going to be asked, and feeling like they don't know what the employer wants to hear. What most job seekers don't realize is that the job description is a cheat sheet into the employer's line of questioning. By analyzing the job description, you can get a strong sense of what a qualified candidate looks like. When examining the job description, identify these 3 items. First of all, what are the top skills desired? Second, what are the most prominent tasks and responsibilities? And third, what qualifications is the organization seeking? Your job as the interviewee is to convey relevant, specific, and tangible aspects that make you a remarkable candidate. So step 3, fit. How do you, as a job candidate, convey that unique fit? It really starts with reflection. Think about your education and your work history and the things that you've done professionally in comparison with the research you just did about the organization and the position. Right away, you can probably think of a few reasons why you're a great candidate. Go ahead and jot those down. Perhaps you have the educational requirements. Maybe you've worked in a very similar experience in the past. Maybe your internship or last job had duties that are directly represented in the job description. Then take a deeper look at the position and consider your past experience. Ideally, you're able to come up with a list of 7 to 10 reasons why you're the right person for this job. These reasons should reflect why you would be successful in the role rather than focusing too much on why you want the job personally. So really think, what makes you a remarkable and uniquely qualified candidate for this job at hand? Now it's time to write your CAR stories, and I recommend the CAR method for structuring your responses. For each of your 7 to 10 reasons why you're a great candidate, you will want to write 1 to 2 CAR stories that showcase your qualification in action. Show rather than tell the employer why you're the right candidate for the job. So what is a CAR story? Let's start with the C, and the C stands for context. The context portion of your story should only be about 20% of the response. Think about a concise way to set up your story that has the necessary details so the listener understands what's going on without losing your audience in the weeds of too many details. The context may only be about a sentence or two long. Next, A reflects action, and this is really where the bulk of your response should be focused on, your action, how and what you did. This is where details are important, and this should be bringing to life what you did and how it relates to the job at hand. Provide enough details so that the employer can visualize you accomplishing the task. Also, ensure that you focus on the elements of the story that showcase you, even if there were others involved. Since you're the only one interviewing for the position, your action, rather than your teammates' actions, is what's most important here. Finally, R, and R refers to result. Provide a definitive end to your interview story response, your CAR story, by concluding with a result. Ideally, your action is going to produce a clear and measurable outcome. If you're not sure what the outcome should be, ask yourself this question: how do I know I was successful? The answer to this often points you in the right direction for identifying the result of your action in your CAR story. The beauty of CAR stories is that they're multifaceted. You can use one story to highlight multiple skills. The same story might be able to tell about problem solving, teamwork, and organization. So in the interview, you're no longer having to think on your feet quickly about what examples showcase that you're organized or that you can solve problems or that you can work as a team. Instead, in the interview, your job is simply to think about the stories you wrote ahead of time and plug in the one that seems most appropriate to the question that the employer asks. In addition to preparing your CAR stories, it's wise to consider frequently asked questions in interviews. These questions are almost always asked, so you can go ahead and prepare a specific response, and you can select the most appropriate CAR story to connect to the question. Some of these frequently asked questions can be tricky in nature, so if you're unsure about how to approach them, that weakness one always scares people a little bit, you might consider a career coaching appointment with one of us here at the Career and Professional Development Department, or seek out people in your network who regularly interview job candidates, and they can also provide some insight into what specifically an employer might be looking for in these frequent and sometimes tricky questions. At the bottom of the list on your screen, you're going to see several behavioral-based questions. Behavioral-based questions typically begin, "Tell me about a time when." Note that very likely the same CAR story could be used to answer any of these examples. This showcases both the versatility of the CAR structure and also that you need to have written enough CAR stories so that you're not duplicating and continuing to use the same story for multiple interview questions. That's where that planning ahead is so essential to your success in the job interview. So in review, your interview preparation strategy is threefold: organization, Know about what they do, what's important to them, and how you think that you're a good fit according to those things. Perhaps know a couple specific features of the organization. Position, know the qualification, the skills and strengths, and the requirements of the role. And fit, have a clear understanding of how you fit and include at least 7 to 10 CAR stories to showcase that fit. I'm confident that this preparation strategy will empower you as you prepare for job interviews. No longer will you be left wondering, what will the interviewer ask me? Instead, you'll ask yourself, what do I want to convey about my skills, my experience, my qualifications to showcase that I'm a uniquely qualified person for this job? Thank you for joining me today to create your interview preparation strategy. If you would like further detail on any of the steps that we discussed today or other professional development coaching, I'd be happy to speak with you. Simply email us at IUAA Career and Professional Development Department. Our email address is careers@alumni.iu.edu to request a career coaching appointment. You can also visit us on the web at www.iualumnicareers.com. Thank you so much and have a great day.